Have you ever wondered where the celebration of birthdays started? In the simplest of terms, it is a time for family and friends to come together and celebrate you, the anniversary of your birth, and another year of life under your belt. But there's so much more to it than that. Scholars who study the Bible say that the earliest mention of a birthday was around 3000 BC and was in reference to a pharaoh's birthday. But further study implies that this was not their birth into the world, but their birth as a god. When Egyptian pharaohs were crowned in ancient Egypt, they were considered to have transformed into gods. This was a moment in their lives that became more important than even their physical birth. Pagans, such as the ancient Greeks, believed that each person had a spirit that was present on the day of his or her birth. This spirit kept watch and had a mystic relation with the god on whose birthday that particular individual was born. Gods and goddesses were a huge part of Greek culture. Greeks offered many tributes and sacrifices to appease these gods. The lunar goddess Artemis was no different. As a tribute to her, the Greeks would offer up moon-shaped cakes adorned with lit candles to recreate the glowing radiance of the moon and Artemis' perceived beauty. The candles also symbolize the sending of a signal or prayer. Blowing out the candles with a wish is another way of sending that message to the gods. It is assumed that the Greeks adopted the Egyptian tradition of celebrating the birth of a god. They, like many other pagan cultures, thought that days of major change, such as these birthdays, welcomed evil spirits. They lit candles in response to these spirits almost as if they represented a light in the darkness. This implies that birthday celebrations started as a form of protection. In addition to candles, friends and family would gather around the birthday person and protect them from harm with good cheers, thoughts, and wishes. They would give gifts to even bring more good cheer, and that would ward off evil spirits. Noisemakers were also used to scare away the unwanted evil. It may or may not be a surprise to you, but birthdays are the most holy of days in the Satanic religion. Back in 1969, Anton LaVey wrote the Satanic Bible. On page 96 it mentions birthdays. Quote, "The highest of all holidays in the Satanic religion is the date on one's own birthday. This is in direct contradiction to the holy of holy days of other religions, which defy a particular god who has been created in an anthropomorphic form of their own image, thereby showing that the ego is not really buried. The Satanist feels, why not really be honest, and if you are going to create a god in your image, why not create that god as yourself? Every man is a god if he chooses to recognize himself as one. So, the Satanist celebrates his own birthday as the most important holiday of the year. After all, aren't you happier about the fact that you were born than you are about the birth of someone you have never even met? Or for that matter, aside from religious holidays, why pay higher tribute to the birthday of a president or to a date in history than we do as to the day we are brought into this greatest of all worlds? Despite the fact that some of us may not have been wanted, or at least were not particularly planned for, we're glad, even if no one else is, that we're here. You should give yourself a pat on the back, buy yourself whatever you want, treat yourself like the king or god that you are, and generally celebrate your birthday with as much pomp and ceremony as possible. I think this statement really sums up what birthdays are all about. It denies the one true God, putting self in its place.